You know, if you've never had a question in your life, you probably don't have many answers to the things you may be puzzled over. Questions can be answered in a lot of different ways. My friend Gene Lindsay has written a book called Insights on Faith and History. And I didn't really know what to think about this book, Gene. When I picked it up, I'm going, Insights on Faith and History. I want to go back. Insights on Faith is pretty easy, especially from someone who's been a minister as long as you have. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to say welcome to the show. But you already know you're welcome, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been here otherwise.
I wouldn't have told you where the camera was.
That is right. You're still my buddy, Norm.
As we see insights on faith, that can be a subject that's talked about a lot in churches and in theological circles. But insights on history, how do you tie the two together?
Well, Dr. J.C. Holsinger, who wrote the foreword to the book, was actually my wife's and my history teacher back in college in 1965-66. When he found out what I was doing, he said, "What's the title of your book?" I said, "Brother Holsinger, I don't have a title. I don't know yet. I'm still working on writing it." He said, "Well, you are writing about your faith, of course." He says, "Because you're answering questions about the Bible." I said, "That is correct." He said, "If I know you, and I think I do, you cannot give a biblical answer without giving a historical or a scientific background." I said, "That is correct." He said, "The title of your book is Insights on Faith and History." The subtitle, Equipping or
Bringing Scripture to Life.
I didn't have my glasses on. Yeah, Bringing Scripture to Life. When my dad, who's now in heaven, asked, "What did Brother Holsinger say?" I told him. He says, "Well, actually, you are bringing Scripture to life to those who don't know it. So that's your subtitle." So therefore, from my history teacher and my dad, Insights on Faith and History, Bringing Scripture to Life.
Now, this is going to be an easy read for those who are already Christian believers and who are following, and it just gives you some more tools for your tool chest. But if I see the word Scripture on the cover and I'm a non-believer, is that going to be a hard thing for me to grab hold of?
If they even dare to look into it, it might not be, because I talk on the regular, in many cases, the non-Christian level. I'm talking history. I've spent many years in the scientific arena, and many of my scientific friends said this is easy for them to understand, even though they're still not believers, because I'm talking history and science. Let me add that true science and true Bible never contradict.
Really?
That is correct.
We've certainly heard a lot of debate on that, though, through the years, especially in school textbooks and college levels.
Even now in Texas.
Well, Texas has done all right. They just they have a conservative approach.
Yes.
And they passed the right book, from the way I see it. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Because it's going to influence the rest of the country. But there's a lot of influences that are out there. There's a lot of books. So why am I going to buy your book and I'm going to give it to one of my friends? What's my point?
For a Christian who doesn't know the Bible very well, this will help him understand Scripture.
Okay.
For the non-Christian, if he doesn't want to accept any of the Scripture that I have in there, he cannot fault the history and the scientific background.
Okay. And it's written in a question and answer format.
Yes.
Which really makes it easy to understand. So it could be a question. Let's just take a look at one or two of these.
Yes, let me interrupt. Every single article in here is a question and answer, and every question has the questioner's name, I believe. Yes, every single question was written by a real-life person, and I've answered this to them personally, and then actually in newspapers. I've written for the newspapers 2001 through 2010.
Okay.
And these are just some of what was in the papers.
Some of the questions that you'll find in here, here's one on page 100. It says, "Why do we have different versions of the Bible?" And you go through and give a really nice dissertation on what the answer is to that. What are the Beatitudes? Does anyone know what real faith is? I do.
Yeah.
Encounter with an angry challenger. How do you do that? Well, you send her off to her mother and, oh no, I shouldn't. That's an awful thing. Let me tell you, this guy was talking to Carol, his wife, and she's just a quiet little, meek, wonderful little woman that has evidently been a wonderful life partner. But you were calling her today, and you never called her Carol.
She's my precious. If you look on my cell phone, dial her number, it comes up Precious. God is my source for life, but next to Him, Carol is my reason for living.
Oh, I watch all the women out there go, oh.
And that's true.
Well, you know, it takes a real man to be able to realize that and unashamedly be able to say that, because that is exactly what we were intended to be to begin with.
Yes.
We should be able to say that and feel that anywhere we go, shouldn't we?
Yes, and that's a manly thing to do. And I'm not bragging, but that's a manly thing. I'm not a coward. As a matter of fact, someone asked me some time ago, do you ever get intimidated? The answer is no. My dad and I, we do the intimidation. No, we don't like to do that. But no, we don't get intimidated. Our faith, we wear on our sleeve, but we don't cram it down anybody's throat. Our faith is real. My love for my wife is real.
The demonstration of faith, an insight in history. It's called Insights on Faith in History. It's by my friend Gene Lindsay. We hope you'll pick it up. How are they going to get this, Gene? Can they get this from your website?
They can get from a website. They can get from an email. And the email is the easiest to remember.
Okay.
I forgot what it was. No, it's masters.servant@cox.net. masters.servant@cox.net.
We'll put that on the screen so you can write that down and take a look at it. Well, I enjoyed the book. Now, what's the next project that you're working on now?
I've written a book on character. It's, again, series on character traits. It's the character traits of God written in a secular way, secular format. I've submitted the manuscript to the publisher, and they have said they're going to delay the publishing for a while, so they have given me permission to recall the manuscript and write a study guide on it. Now, Norm, that study guide is your idea. I thank you for it.
Well, it's just a way that we could share in how to better do this. But we feel like, and Gene and I feel the same way about it, that whether it's insights on faith in history or character issues, that men are responsible for training their young sons and men to become great men of God rather than becoming a secular separatist from their family, that this is to be an honored situation. And we want to teach people about that, and this is one of the messengers who's doing it.
Well, thank you, Norm, for allowing me to talk. And you're my buddy. I don't care what you say about me. You're my buddy.
Well, I'll take your name and number off the bathroom wall. Thanks, Gene. God bless you. Hey, we're going to be right back in just a minute with more good stuff. Oh, by the way, that word God bless, I'm changing my vocabulary. Bless is too much of a religious word because it really means empower.
Oh, yes, it does.
God empower you, brother.
Thank you. I received that, and you too, sir. All
right, we're going to be right back in just a minute, where, again, the stories are all about you on the Out of the Norm show. Don't you dare go away. There's